Today, the #1 children's hospital in Louisiana 3 years in a row now gets a new home. It's a place where we provide care that is literally not available anyplace else in the state, like pediatric heart and liver transplantation, and we're really proud that we'll be able to do that in a new facility. We have been planning this hospital for a number of years. Over the past 2 or 3 years, those plans really became more concrete. As we reviewed those plans with Mrs. Benson and told her about our plans for the future, she was really excited to make this gift, which is obviously transformative and helps us make this become a reality.
Just a decade ago, if a child needed a heart transplant or a liver transplant or any number of very complex, highly technical procedures in Louisiana, they would need to leave the state. We had children going to Boston, going to Houston, and going to Cincinnati and many other places. Now, Ochsner Children's Hospital is able to deliver and is already delivering this level of care here. This will be the next step up so we can bring teams together more easily, and it will be more comfortable and in a dedicated child and family-friendly environment.
So this is Thomas. He's 16 months old. At the anatomy scan, he was diagnosed with transposition of the great arteries, double outlet right ventricle, and a VSD as well. And so he was in the hospital for 40 days. He had open heart surgery a few weeks after he was born, and Dr. Peeler fixed it.
Tell us your reaction to today's announcement.
Incredible. This is going to change a lot of lives in the community for families just like us.
I'm Dr. Butch Adolph. I'm one of the Ochsner Health Board of Directors members, and I'm the Chief Medical Officer of the Ochsner Children's Hospital. Before I start what's scripted here, I have to say I don't remember being in a room that had as much palpable excitement as today. I see a lot of faces that have spent a long time working to getting to this day, so I want to thank you all for being here. So I really represent the entire pediatric... So I want to represent the entire pediatrics team when I thank you all for being here today. This announcement about changing the care of children at Ochsner is something long in the making that we're all very excited about. It's been quite a number of years that we have been building quality programs and great care teams to help improve the care of the children that we treat. It's been years in the making, and we have some quality programs that we're very proud of. This new facility is going to allow us to provide the quality care that we have been working to provide for a long time in a facility that matches the caliber of the care that we provide. And we could not be more excited about the future for children's health care here at Ochsner. We wouldn't be here today without the support of the entire executive team, the CEO, the board of directors, and I want to thank them for their support, as well as Mrs. Benson for her generous gift that helps make this possible. I want to start by introducing our CEO, Pete November. Pete has been a steadfast supporter of this program, developing our pediatrics program and this project to build the new hospital. We would not be here if it weren't for all of his continued support and dedication to seeing us to this point. So, Pete, please come on up.
Good afternoon. Butch is right. The energy in this room is amazing. Thank you all for being here. Before I begin, I think I want to also say a great thanks to Dr. Adolph. We wouldn't be here today without him. He has been here his entire career, and if you spend 5 minutes talking to him, you know he has been working his entire career for today. And we thank you, Dr. Adolph, for your leadership. I want to thank the members of the Ochsner Board of Directors here today. You have supported this project every step of the way, and we wouldn't be here without that support. We'll have the opportunity to hear from my friend and our board chair, Andy Wisdom, in a few minutes, and I know Andy is very, very excited to speak with you and just share his excitement for this project. We're also grateful for the members of the Ochsner Foundation Board who are here today and for all of their support. But I especially want to echo Dr. Adolph's comments about the efforts of our pediatrics team. The care you provide is amazing. And we wouldn't be Louisiana's leader without you. And so thank you for what you do every day for the children who you care for. And now let's talk about what we all came here to celebrate today. Thanks to the incredible generosity of Mrs. Benson, our #1 ranked team is getting a new home, the Gayle and Tom Benson Ochsner Children's Hospital. And I'm honored to share that Mrs. Benson has made a transformational gift that made this a reality. So thank you, Mrs. Benson. As Dr. Adolph mentioned, today we take care of over 100,000 children every year. But what you may not know is there are families and children every day who we just simply don't have the capacity to take care of them. And this new facility will allow us to meet that demand and to allow families and children to have access to our incredible physicians, our incredible specialties and subspecialties. From the outset of this project, our goal was this: to meet the needs of the children and families throughout our region and provide them with an ideal experience in an environment made just for them. And thanks to Mrs. Benson's gift of generosity, we will achieve our goal and significantly impact the lives of those in Louisiana and throughout the Gulf South and throughout the nation. As you know, Mrs. Benson and her husband Tom have been advocates for Ochsner and our community for many years. Her commitment for giving and supporting causes she believes in continues to astound me. We are grateful for you, for your spirit of leadership, your spirit of giving, and your commitment to this community. Please all, let's now stand and recognize the lasting impact that Mr. and Mrs. Benson made on healthcare in our state and to Ochsner. It's now my honor to invite my friend, Mrs. Benson, to come up and speak with us.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you all for that very warm welcome. I appreciate it. And thank you, Pete. And thank you to the entire Ochsner Children's team for all you do to care for the health and wellness of our children in New Orleans, our state, and the Gulf South. I am so excited and humbled to join you for this important moment for the families and future of our region as we announce the Gayle and Tom Benson Ochsner Children's Hospital. The future success of our community is entirely dependent on the health of our people, particularly our children, and I am blessed to be able to contribute to a healthier future for our region. Throughout the years, my husband Tom and I have been committed to supporting Ochsner's exceptional team of physicians and caregivers in their tireless mission to provide world-class care to patients and families facing health challenges in our region. Ochsner is recognized as a national healthcare leader and destination for patients seeking medical care in virtually every discipline. We should all be proud of the world-class facilities and world-class doctors at Ochsner. This new gift is intended to ensure Ochsner's pediatric care teams will be able to continue offering the highest quality services to our youngest and often most vulnerable community members for generations to come. Together, we are embarking on a journey to build a brighter, healthier future for the children of our city, state, and region. Thank you all again for being here today and your support of our incredible Ochsner team. May you all enjoy a most blessed and Merry Christmas. Thank you.
We are very fortunate today to have Congressman Troy Carter with us at this great event. During the last year or so, Troy's become a friend. He's become a mentor, and I can tell you every time I call Troy, he picks up the phone and he's ready to help. He's also been an instrumental part of many of the community projects that we've been involved in. The Xavier Medical School that I know he cares deeply about, Son of a Saint, the Delgado Nursing School. He's been very much a part of all of those. We are very fortunate to have Congressman Carter represent us. He's been a great advocate for Ochsner, a great advocate for healthcare, and we look forward to having him come up and say a few words. Troy, come on up and speak to us.
Or afternoon, perhaps. It's been a long day. But I could not be more honored to be here to share in this incredible moment with someone as generous, ma'am, as you are. Someone that has demonstrated the kind of love and commitment for people in this region, in this state, in this country. You have given and given and given, and we can't say thank you enough. Another round of applause for Ms. Benson. Tom and Gayle Benson has put their fingerprint of love on this community for so long, and long after the beloved Tom Benson has gone to be with God, his bride has continued in the legacy of giving and loving and providing resources. So our most precious commodity, now our children, will have an opportunity for state-of-the-art continued health care. So to Ochsner, who has been, Pete, you have been phenomenal. Your team has been phenomenal. It appears that we're at press conferences far too often because you guys are always doing something positive, demonstrating that corporate and community go hand in hand. Recognizing that corporate titans have a responsibility, and you've set the platinum standard for stepping up to the plate and being that good corporate titan to demonstrate true care for our community. So to the doctors and board members and the entire faculty and nurses and everybody within the Ochsner organization, we thank you for your continued work as a great community partner. And again, this is a great day for Louisiana. It's a great day for our city, our state, our region, showing these kind of partnerships really make a difference. And it's led by people, and in this case, a person with a very big heart. God bless you, ma'am.
So what you see on the side here is a rendering of the building that we've been planning for a little while. A large team of our physicians, nurses, and child life therapists have been working on developing the plans for this. Again, a facility that would not be possible without Ms. Benson's generosity. I want to tell you a little bit about what's going to be in that new building. It's a 5-story building that's immediately adjacent to our current hospital. It's got 535,000 square feet of, 335,000 square feet of space, but we're going to have brand new operating rooms with brand new cath labs. All of those will be on the second and third floor of the facility. And one of the things that it's really going to offer is some proximity. Having all those units closer together will make the care better. Some other components that are very important is it'll have a central imaging center. All that will be located in one spot instead of disseminated throughout the institution. We also will have a dedicated parking facility as part of the new construction immediately adjacent to the hospital, and that'll make the new emergency room, which is also going to be much larger and visible, will be more accessible to the family members and patients as well. So we're really excited about all the components of this building that have all been designed to make the patient and family experience optimal. And again, our goal is for the care experience to match the quality of the care that we have been building over a number of years. So I'd like to again thank not only Mrs. Benson, but the executive team and the board for their support. We have been talking about a vision for what we thought Ochsner pediatric care could be for a number of years. We would not be able to do that with the support of all those people. And again, thank Mrs. Benson for help making it possible. So I'd like to introduce our board chair, Andy Williams, the board chair for the Ochsner Health Board of Directors, who's going to make a few comments, and apparently now has an honorary doctorate degree.
There was a singer called Andy Williams. I think I'm now maybe a bit of a singer as well. Thank you, Butch. I do have some prepared remarks that we'll go through, but if you just indulge me on the front end to share a few things with you. The first is that as board chair, you spent a lot of time working with the CEO, Pete November, done a fantastic job, had an absolute home run in his first year as CEO. Did you think a lot about strategy, where we're going as an institution, where we want to be, not in 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, and 20 years, long beyond our personal sell-by dates. We're really thinking in multi-decadal patterns. So I rolled into 2023 knowing that we would have 4 very important announcements, not just for this community, but for the state of Louisiana, for the entire Gulf South region. The first in January was that we had entered into a partnership with Xavier University to create the Ochsner Xavier Medical School, which will be only the 5th medical school in the United States associated with a historically black college. I know how important this was to Troy Carter because he's a Xavier alum and been a friend of mine for about 30 years. And to be there with him on that day was really spectacular. And it was a big moment, and I loved it. The second big announcement we had came in June when we announced that Ochsner Health has clinically integrated its cancer care with MD Anderson in Houston to create the Ochsner Health MD Anderson Cancer Center housed at the Gayle and Tom Benson Cancer Center. This was an amazing announcement. Unfortunately, I couldn't be here for that announcement because I was in the hospital receiving CAR T-cell therapy to cure my lymphoma, and I'm happy to tell you that I'm in remission today, largely because of that partnership. In the fall, we announced the Robert J. and Deborah Patrick Center for Neurosciences at Ochsner. This is going to transform neurology, neuroscience for our entire region and brings a focus to this set of issues that we've never seen before. And is going to make an incredibly large difference in the lives of people, young and old, who are having neurological issues over the course of their lifespan. Absolutely phenomenal announcement. The fourth one, though, is today. And I've been waiting all year to make this announcement. And it's appropriate that it's coming during Christmas time and the Christmas season, because I felt like the little kid wanting to unwrap this present for New Orleans, for Louisiana, for the Gulf South region, and share with you the good news of this wonderful announcement. And here we are today doing that very thing. And I'm just delighted to serve as your board chair. I'm delighted to work with our team on the board, our senior physicians, and to be able to be in a position to share this really great news today, because this is the one I've been waiting very patiently all year to be able to say these words, the Gayle and Tom Benson Ochsner Children's Hospital. Just fantastic. Let me start off by thanking Butch Adolph and his hard work in this. This project could not be in better hands. Butch is retiring from our board this year. It's a bittersweet moment for us, but we know he's done a phenomenal job as a board member with us. He's going to do a phenomenal job with this institution, and I just don't think it could be in better hands. I'm thrilled to see all of our talented team and what we're going to be able to accomplish for the children and families throughout the Gulf South in the Gayle and Tom Benson Ochsner Children's Hospital. This new home for Louisiana's top children's hospital will not only increase access to primary and specialized care for our young patients, it will also provide them with an environment that supports their emotional and psychological well-being. The new facility will put everything kids need in one place, designed especially for them, to ensure their time at Ochsner is as comfortable and stress-free as possible. As parents, all we ever want in the world is for our children to be healthy and happy. And when our children get sick, it weighs heavily on our hearts. 12 years ago, my daughter had a horrific accident at summer camp, suffered a traumatic brain injury. I can't imagine she'd be where she is today without Aaron Carlin and all the doctors here at Ochsner Children's Hospital. I'm proud that we'll be able to provide some much needed hope and relief to countless parents and their children in this new facility. On behalf of the entire Ochsner Health Board, we're so proud of the amazingly talented Ochsner Children's team, and we know that through this new center, the children and families of the Gulf South will receive the best, most comprehensive care available from top pediatric teams. Finally, I want to thank Mrs. Benson from the bottom of my heart for this awe-inspiring generosity and the memory of her husband. I'm only sorry that there was one loving cup to give out, because you should have about 6. Your contributions are changing the lives of people every single day in this community. And so we want to thank you on behalf of the children, families, care teams, and staff that you're supporting at Ochsner through this transformative gift. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you. Merry Christmas.
Should thank Andy Wisdom. I've seen his wisdom in the course of my 8 years on the board. You just saw an example of his kindness as well. So you're going to hear from several of our physicians this afternoon to talk about the importance of the new Ochsner Children's Hospital. But I want to bring up first Dr. Billy Lenars. Billy is the system chair for pediatrics, and he's been integral in the growth of our pediatrics program here. He's helped us recruit a number of the pediatric specialists who've helped us develop the programs that have led not only to our #1 rankings in several specialties, but also created the environment to help us get to a point where we're ready to build the best children's hospital in the state. So I want to welcome up to the board. We would not welcome up to the stage. We would not be in the position we are today if it weren't for Dr. Lenars' dedication to our pediatrics program. When we recruited him a number of years ago, this was part of our vision. It was part of what I think attracted him to come here, because he was convinced that we had the support from the board level and every level of the organization to get to this point, and we wouldn't be here without him. Billy.
So the PR people know I always go off script. Would everyone who is part of the pediatric team taking care of children every day, if you're standing, put your hand up. If you're sitting, stand up, so that I can say, long live you. This is a team, a village that's gotten us this far and created care unlike any in the Gulf South. Thank you so much. It has been a privilege to work with everyone. I want to take a moment to recognize some of the leaders of the teams that played a major role. 8 years ago, now it's 8 years ago, no children's hospital in Louisiana or Mississippi, I always had ever been ranked by U.S. News and World Report and for those of you who don't know, it is a very data-driven, not a popularity contest. And Ochsner Children's Hospital, the Gayle and Tom Benson Ochsner Children's Hospital, has been ranked for 7 years in a row. 6 out of those 7 years, pediatric cardiology and cardiac surgery have been ranked. 3 out of those years, our pediatric GI program has ranked, and 2 out of those years, our pediatric orthopedics program has been ranked in the top 50 in the United States. Our U.S. News and World Report rankings are a testimony to the leaders of those specialty areas, especially to the great work of Ben Peeler, Chief of the Pediatric and Adult Cardiac Surgery Program, Dr. Sam Lucas, the System Section Head for Pediatric and Adult Congenital Heart Surgery, Tom Young, Division Chief for Pediatric Cardiology, and all their dedicated teams, many of whom are here today, and some of whom are across the street taking care of very sick kids. And our orthopedic team, led by Dr. Lawrence Haber, Section Head for Pediatric Orthopedics. And our pediatric gastroenterology, hepatology, and nutrition team led by Dr. Ryan Himes. Overall, our team system-wide, statewide in Louisiana and even beyond, is now numbers in the range of about 230 physicians specializing in 30 different pediatric specialties and subspecialties and subspecialties, as many of you know. We are leading the way in pediatric care for the Gulf South. And once again, your dedication to patient-centered care is changing the lives of over 100,000 children each year. Now I want to ask Dr. Peeler and Dr. Jessica Mullidew from cardiology to come up and speak.
Good morning, everyone. They don't let me out much, so this is a great day. I'm Ben Peeler. I'm the head of the pediatric cardiac surgery program. I do have some prepared remarks. First of all, I'd like to especially recognize Sam Lucas. Sam, can you stand? Sam has been the head of the pediatric cardiology program, was when I came here 7 years ago. And Sam really did most or all of the hard work of developing the statewide network of referrals that we have based on his affability and his clinical competence. He really did a fantastic job of setting the stage for us to come here and be able to accomplish what we have. So thank you, Sam. Ochsner Health and Ochsner Children's Hospital has devoted a lot of resources and effort into developing children's subspecialty care. This really started as early as 1974 when Johnny Ochsner put in the first cardiac pacemaker in a newborn. That was the first in the world. Subsequently, Terry King, who still remains one of our pediatric cardiologists, literally invented the specialty of interventional cardiology by closing the first atrial septal defect with a device and saving patients from surgery. So those examples of innovations have continued at Ochsner and have led to our continuous development. Our program, the Congenital Heart Program, has been ranked in the U.S. News and World Report top programs for the last 5 years and 6 out of the last 7 years. Our results are superior to most programs in the country, and the data shows that as the operations and procedures get more complicated, our results separate ourselves even more from other programs in the country. We have the only pediatric heart transplant and mechanical device support program in the state and the region. And we also continue very often to do first in the area cardiac catheterization procedures. As such, we often run into capacity, and we often have to delay procedures due to lack of bed space. So this transformational day will allow us to continue to develop our program and continue to separate ourselves from other programs in the country, and will really spearhead our efforts to attract the best talent here.
Our new facility will provide seamless and comprehensive care for all of our patients with congenital heart disease, from maternal, fetal, and infants, all the way to patients with adult congenital heart disease. Ochsner is very unique in our ability to provide care for the patient's lifetime. In the Gayle and Tom Benson Children's Hospital, our cardiac catheterization labs and cardiac ICU will be located on the same floor. This proximity is essential to care for our sickest babies. In my role, I often work directly with our maternal fetal medicine and neonatal intensive care unit teams. And now, thanks to the surgical NICU that we're establishing in the new facility, we will be able to deliver and care for the highest risk mothers and babies all in one place. For premature infants who need cardiology, subspecialty, and surgical care, the new surgical ICU will provide the excellent care that our NICU provides, with the added bonus of being right next to our cardiologists, cardiovascular surgeons, our subspecialists, and all of our surgeons. As others have said, Ochsner has a deep track record of commitment to innovation. Our cardiac catheterization lab is the only institution in the region certified to close patent ductus arteriosus in premature infants. In fact, our team leads the nation in extremely premature infants, those less than 2 pounds. On the other side of the spectrum, for our adult patients born with congenital heart defects, we'll still be connected to our adult cardiology colleagues to continue to provide innovative and collaborative care throughout our patients' lifetimes. I'm personally excited that the new facility is being designed as a family destination. Parents and caregivers will find respite in the many areas of the facility, including open-air patios, kitchens, lounges, family resource centers, and private rooms. As a parent myself, it means a lot to know that if my child is sick, the entire family would be involved in the care.
Ensuring that families are included in every aspect of care is an important aspect of what we do here at Ochsner, and is a very important aspect of our development of the new Children's Hospital. Nothing tells the positive story of a good outcome better than the family themselves, so we've asked the Reller family to join us today and to perhaps say a few words.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Aaron Reller. This is my wife, Abigail, and we have 4 children. Our 4th child, Thomas, the youngest, we learned during the anatomy scan that he had some heart abnormalities. We didn't know what any of this really meant, but we trusted the people who were around us, who certainly led us in the right direction. So it turned out to be transposition of the great arteries, double outlet right ventricle, and a ventricular septal defect. He had open heart surgery performed by Dr. Peeler a few weeks after birth that corrected all 3 defects. To say that we are grateful for Ochsner for saving our son's life is an understatement. To know that more children like Thomas will now have access to the same level of care is an incredible win for our community. I think when you have a sick child, it's easy to lose your faith in humanity. Doesn't seem fair. And we certainly had our faith restored by the countless team members comprised of nurses, therapists, anesthesia, and child life. Their brilliance didn't come at the expense of their bedside manner either. They were the exact people we needed them to be. And as a parent, there isn't anything more you could ask for when your child is in the hospital. Thank you, Mrs. Benson, for the incredible gift you've given to countless families like us.
The Ochsner Pediatric Transplant Team is an incredible part of our overall system. And now I want to ask Dr. Ryan Himes, who's a pediatric transplant hepatologist, that's a liver transplant doctor, for those who don't know, to come up and talk about the amazing work that we've done in this area since he joined us 5 years ago-ish from Texas Children's, which is one of the biggest programs in the country.
Thank you, Billy. Thank you, Mrs. Benson. The Ochsner Pediatric Transplant Team is a leader in our specialty, and we've pioneered many firsts in our area. Ochsner's pediatric transplant milestones include the first pediatric heart transplant and liver transplants in the state, the first combined pediatric heart-kidney transplant, and the first unrelated living donor liver transplant in a child. These breakthroughs are some of the latest in Ochsner's rich history of innovating pediatric care. Ochsner physicians have been delivering groundbreaking care and treatments for decades, and that's due to the huge investment that the organization has made in people and the technology to treat the sickest children. Now, the Gayle and Tom Benson Ochsner Children's Hospital will help us continue building our innovative and specialized programs. We know that in order to continue operating at the high level we've attained and to meet the needs of tomorrow, Ochsner Children's needs a state-of-the-art facility. And as Louisiana's #1 children's hospital, we have a responsibility to ensure that we are equipped to provide the best care possible in the best environment possible for kids today and for generations to come. This new building will meet and exceed that standard, and most importantly, it will change the lives of children and families for the better. But this isn't an abstraction. These aren't names on a chart. These are real young people who need the kind of specialized and expert care only available here. I want to recognize a patient of mine who's here today and tell you a little bit about him. Caden, put your hand up if you don't mind. Caden has been a real inspiration to me and to the team, and to say Caden is an athlete is an understatement. He played multiple sports at St. Charles Catholic High School, but is a standout on the football field. 2021 was his junior year, and the team was undefeated and brought home the state championship. Caden's hopes for the 2022 season, however, came crashing down in April of that year when he was diagnosed with a serious liver disease which sidelined him from returning to the field with his team. We saw Caden in the transplant center in August of 2022 and determined that a liver transplant was the only viable option for him. While this would be life-saving, it was not at all clear that he would ever be strong enough to return to the gridiron. Determined to beat the odds, Caden sought and received a medical hardship waiver from the Louisiana State High School Athletic Association, which would grant him another year of eligibility, provided he could get healthy enough to be medically cleared after the liver transplant. Well, Caden watched longingly from the sidelines as St. Charles Catholic had an outstanding 2022 season, taking home the state championship for a second year in a row. And in January of this year, Caden underwent a liver transplant and immediately morphed into one of the most highly motivated post-operative patients any of us have ever seen. He met and usually surpassed every rehabilitation goal that we set for him, and he rapidly gained back weight, strength, and speed. By the time summer rolled around, just 6 months after transplant, our team agreed that he was ready to suit up with the St. Charles Catholic High School's team again for the 2023 season. We all watched with pride as St. Charles Catholic, with Caden wearing number 7, went 13-1 this season, advancing to the state championships just last weekend at the Dome, where they narrowly lost to Calvary Baptist. Caden, it was an honor to care for you. You're an inspiration for patients and for caregivers. and you're emblematic of the transformative medicine that happens every day at Ochsner Children's. Join me in giving Caden and his mom a big round of applause for your bravery and for being here today. Just outstanding.
Now I want to introduce someone who is really one of the backbones of our inpatient pediatric care. Dr. Ludi Kashimow has been at Ochsner, all I know is pre-Katrina. So Ludi's been here a long time. She is now, I think, hiring people that she trained as doctors. And Ludi now oversees our entire inpatient platform of caregivers, of physicians, including our pediatric hospitalists, our pediatric critical care doctors, and our pediatric cardiac critical care doctors. So let me welcome up to the stage to say a few comments, Ludi. Dr. Ludi.
Good afternoon. Thank you, Dr. Lenaz. I believe when I speak, I actually speak on behalf of the entire pediatric team, the amazing nurses that we have. I would not be here if it wasn't for the amazing nursing team and the therapists and everyone that's been here. I believe Ochsner has a culture of, because I don't think we bring them in because we know that they're amazing team when they first start. But Ochsner has a culture of bringing people in, and when you come in, you feel like you own this. You put in your very best. And somehow, the leaders mimic that, and everybody gets it. So it's a culture that's promoted across the board. I am proud to work for Ochsner, and I've always taken pride in the care that we provide to the children and the families that come to us. And now that with this great gift from Mrs. Benson, we're expanding our capacity and we'll treat even more children and even be able to deliver more services, getting them the treatment and care they need to lead to healthier lives. In the department that I oversee, I'm thrilled we'll have more space and beds available to care for the sickest. Many times we get calls and sometimes we're at capacity. This would give us the benefit to be able to take care of more kids in the state. We're increasing our ICU capacity from 26 beds to 29 beds. And the acute care floor will move from 44 to 52 beds with room to expand. This growth means we can take in more children and we can take on more complex cases than ever before. More importantly, children and their families won't have to continue to wait longer to get the care they need. This is so important to all of us at Ochsner because we know that it truly all starts with the children. If a child is healthy, they're more likely to be healthy as an adult. And healthier kids increase the overall health of our state. Everyone at Ochsner understands this. It is the one reason we take great pride in what we do. Caring for our young people means caring for the future of our state and the region. I am deeply proud to be a part of a team, and I believe I speak for the many people who work as frontliners in the Children's Hospital. Caring for our young people means caring for the future of the state. I'm deeply proud to be, and this supports the important mission each and every day. Thank you all for having me, and have a Merry Christmas.
Thank you all once again for joining us today as we celebrate the future of pediatric care at Ochsner in Louisiana and across the Gulf South. And from that care team who stood up and raised their hands a little while ago, again, Mrs. Benson, thank you so much for your transformational gift. We will make it the best that we can to take care of children across the whole region, and we'll make you proud.
What he said. Thank you all for being here. I hope you all have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. I'm going to ask our speakers to come up and we'll do some pictures in front of the stage. And thank you all again for being here. It's a very exciting day.
It's phenomenal. It's been a long time coming. We have brought so many talented pediatric specialists to Louisiana here at Ochsner Children's, and we're so proud to now be developing a new home for Ochsner Pediatrics.
Groundbreaking will probably be in late 24, early 25. We expect the hospital to open mid to late 2027.